Hello, and welcome back to Inherit the Earth, the quest for the orb. So currently we are sneaking our way into the rat cave. Oop.
I mustn't talk to him. He'll know I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's hard to do Cloak and Dagger when you take your cloak off. Um, but yeah, currently I'm using a walkthrough to help me through this maze here, but this isn't the worst maze of the game. It's actually a pretty benign maze. Yeah, I've heard stories about the dog castle, and I'll have to get there soon. But this
You
is
can
our
take off that cloak now, young fox.
okay.
Rat cloaks, and they look about my size.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting why they would keep a cloak about the size of a fox when you're about a head and half a chest higher than they are.
You sure have a lot of stuff in here. You sure have a lot of stuff in here.
Apparently they have a lot of stuff. He is apparently a pack rat. Ooh, writing desk.
You sure have a... You sure...
Apparently I can only talk about the fact that he has a lot of things.
You must have had a long journey. So tell me, how did you manage to get past the doorkeeper?
My friends and I provided him with... a diversion.
Quite clever. But then I could tell you were clever at the puzzle tournament.
Oh,
Aha, so that's where we have met before.
Yes. I am called Sist, and I was there to witness your defeat at the hands of Scory.
Scory was lucky.
Sometimes all that stands between a winner and a loser is a little bit of luck. Now then, why are you here?
well, yep. Apparently we're here for information. But yep, this is Sist. He seems to be benign, which is good. Yes, I can do terrible jokes too, Riff. Yes, I can. But we're here to talk about an orb.
My friends and I are investigating the disappearance of the Orb of Storms. We are at a loss as to where to start, and have heard that you know many things. Can you help us?
We have knowledge, but we are not clairvoyant. We must have clues, something to go on. Have you any clues?
Well, got a few things that might be considered a clue.
I found what might be a clue.
Let me see it then.
I have made a plaster cast of a footprint found at the scene of the theft.
Yep.
Can you identify it?
It looks familiar. I will have to consult with some of my associates. At any rate, it will not be enough for a positive identification. What other clues have you?
Well, we did find these at the scene of the crime.
Ah, sour berries.
Yep.
What? You recognize them?
Indeed I do. These are very rare and grow only in certain places.
Where? You must tell me.
This, together with the footprint, tells me all I need to know.
Who is it? You must tell me.
Not so fast. My knowledge does not come cheap.
But I have very little money.
Yeah.
Who mentioned money? It is information that I desire.
What is it you wish to know?
Yeah.
For weeks we have heard rumors of strange goings-on at the court of the Boar King.
Mm-hmm.
This has caused great consternation among my people, for we do not trust the boar.
You and
That
everybody
is a
else.
sentiment shared by most races.
I want you to go to the Boar King's court and see what you can find out.
But I was just there.
I find that hard to believe. Have you any proof?
I did find this ring at the bottom of his mud bath.
What were you doing in his...
Never mind. It's a long story.
Ah, this is good. This is very good. I mean, this is bad. Do you know
Which
what
is
this
it?
ring means?
It has the head of a wolf on it, so I assume it belongs to a member of the wolf tribe.
Oh.
It is more than that.
Okay.
This insignia is that of a wolf captain. That means there have been military meetings between the wolf and the boar.
Oh.
How do you know the ring wasn't stolen? Or maybe the wolf captain lost it?
First, the wolf captain is constantly surrounded by guards. You cannot steal from him.
Unless the
Second,
guards were,
The
you know.
ring cannot be lost because it is never taken off, except under very special circumstances, like the pledging of a very solemn troth.
What kind of troth?
It is that which fills me with fear. Whatever unholy alliance has been formed between the wolf and the boar, it can only mean trouble for the rest of the tribes. And I believe it all revolves around the missing orb.
Then it is
Uh-oh.
all the more important you tell me what I need to know.
Yeah.
The footprint and the sour berries, to whom do they belong?
The footprint belongs to a raccoon.
A raccoon?
Yeah.
A rather large male in his mid-30s, I'd say.
But raccoons are pretty rare in these parts.
This raccoon isn't from these parts.
Oh.
The sour berries only grow at very high altitudes.
Mhm.
Most of the raccoons have settled on an island far to the north of the known lands. Whatever raccoon made this footprint obviously brought the berries with him from the north. It is there your answers lie.
Then I had best be on my way. Time grows short. Fare you well, friend Sist. Let us both hope my mission is successful.
Wait! Take this wolf's head ring with you. It may prove valuable. If nothing else, it may provide you with some capital in an emergency.
But this was to be your payment.
Yeah.
The information you brought me is payment enough. Now go, and may Hrone go with you.
Thank you, friend Sist. What an odd design. The head. Just your average garden variety bucket.
That'll probably be useful.
I can get it when I leave.
Yep. Well, time to leave. Come on. There we go. So, seems like the thief wasn't a fox at all, but was a raccoon. So, apparently, as far as speciesism goes, on one hand, we're supposed to not believe in it, but, poor Prokans. Now to slip our way back out, and hopefully, I'm going in the right direction. If I'm not, then, I might pause it here and head out. If you're still hearing me, I managed to get out within a reasonable time. If you're not hearing this, I gave up and said, you know, I'm just gonna do this off screen because, yeah, these mazes are not fun. Yeah, no, mazes, well, most games, mazes are padding.
Who are you? I'm the doorkeeper. Who are you? Who are you? I said I'm the doorkeeper. Who are you? Who are you? I'm the Who is he?
That's right.
What? That's my nickname. What is? Who? You? What is your...
It's late. I think we'd better go.
Yep,
It's been a pleasure to meet you.
absolutely. So, we've been to the forest, we've been to the village, we've done the fair, the caves, the castle, and the sanctuary. Apparently our culprit probably headed north, but we don't have any real method of getting there. Well, the only other place we haven't been to is this house. Guess it's time to head to here. Ooh. Now this is gorgeous. Definitely some great, scenes and images from this group of people.
I think there may be someone at home.
Does look like it.
Let's visit that house.
Way better. The plot demands it. Tycho. Tycho Brahe? Well, that would lead to two people. Either a scientist or someone who does webcomics. Let's hope it's the former, if it's any of those.
Hello, sir. We've come to Forever Mountain in hope of peering into the wildlands, that we might have some sort of idea where we are going.
I am pleased to meet you. My name is Tycho Northpaw.
Well, at least it's not Brahe. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that terribly.
You seem to have an excellent view up here. Have you had occasion to do much observation of the wildlands?
Indeed I have. In fact, I have made maps of part of them.
Oh.
Indeed. Most interesting.
I am both an astronomer and cartologist.
Maps the skies and the ground.
A map maker.
Our new friend is a map maker.
Well, he didn't say we were friends yet.
Perhaps you could tell us something about the wildlands.
I will tell you what I know of the wildlands. It is a place of great danger. It is also a place of great magnificence. There are hostile tribes, treacherous terrain, and roaming reptiles.
Uh-oh.
It is also a land of great beauty and power.
It sounds like a truly wondrous place.
I could just as easily be describing the known lands.
But it sounds very different.
In some ways, the wildlands are very different from the known lands. In some ways, they are very similar.
You're talking kind of in repetition. But, reptiles. Well, all of the ascended people we've talked to have been mammals. Wonder if the reptiles were given the same treatment. If they could be.
Have you ever been to the wildlands yourself?
I have not. With my impaired sense of smell, I am at somewhat of a disadvantage in the wilds. I do, however, occasionally encounter a traveler who has been through the wildlands, and he will supply me with information.
Huh, impaired sense of smell? Well, for a dog, that must be, rather terrible.
Many fear the wildlands and say they are full of unspeakable dangers.
That is only fear of the unknown. If you make the unknown known, the fear has nowhere to take root.
He does certainly like talking in circles.
Can you give us any suggestions for our journey?
Keep all of your senses on alert, especially your common sense. You will need them.
How much of the wildlands can be seen from this mountain?
That is hard to say. I cannot see as much as I used to when I had my light catcher. However, no one I have met has ever reached the other side and returned to tell their story.
Light catcher.
Yes, the wildlands are a fascinating place, but there are some other things to discuss.
Yep.
Tell us about yourself. How did you come to live here on the edge of the wildlands?
I was born a member of the dog tribe and raised to be a hunter. However, that career was cut short. You see, I suffer from hay fever, which not only renders my sense of smell useless, but on the hunt, my sneezing had a tendency to alert the prey to our presence. I soon became quite a liability to the hunting party.
I'm terribly sorry. That must have been quite difficult for you.
Not really. True, the other members of the tribe soon ostracized me, but I was never much of a hunter anyway. My heart just wasn't in it. I was much more interested in the stars. I would lie on my back night after night and watch them into the early hours of the morning. I charted their progress across the sky and studied them until I knew each and every one by heart. So I decided to become an astronomer.
Interesting. Hunting. I wonder what they hunted. I mean, could be the lizards. I mean, the main character is certainly an omnivore, so theoretically meat eating exists here. Uh, Although typically I just figured it was like, say, fish.
What led you to Forever Mountain?
The king of the dog tribe at the time, Rex, had no use for astronomy. He considered it a waste of time. All he cared about was the hunt. So after I was ostracized, I decided to find the highest mountain I could from which to gaze at the stars. And that was here, Forever Mountain.
What did you find when you first arrived here?
I found this building.
Just this building? Nothing more?
Oh yes, there were many other things.
What kind of things?
Instruments for seeing the stars. Light catchers, I call them. I believe they were actually left here by the humans before they ascended.
Interesting. So, these must be, telescopes.
What makes you think they were left by humans?
The items I found are far beyond our own technology.
And you actually believe all of these humans ascended to the land of the clouds?
Actually, I believe the humans ascended to the moon.
What?
The image we see on the moon? That is actually the face of a human. I believe they carved it there so we would know that they are always looking down on us, watching us and caring for us. Someday they will return.
And when will that be?
When we are good enough, when we have learned enough, when we have stopped fighting amongst ourselves and learned to live in peace. Only then will we be worthy.
I find that hard to believe.
Then what do you believe in, my young friend?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
Ah.
That's all very interesting, of course, but there are a few other things we'd like to discuss.
We're going a little bit long here, but might as well finish up with Tycho and see what else he knows.
How did you come to make these maps?
From my vantage point here on the mountain, I would look through my light catcher to the wild lands below. I saw the hills and the valleys. If I saw an area of thick vegetation, I knew there must be water nearby. If it was a
certainly
round,
smart.
contained area, it was a lake. If it was a long, extended area, it was a river or stream. If at night I saw a fire, I assumed it must either be a campfire or a village. The size of the fire and the consistency of its occurrence told me which.
Well, certainly makes sense.
You mentioned something called a light catcher. What is that?
Ah, my light catcher. It is an instrument I found in this house. It makes objects that are far away seem close at hand. It makes the stars seem so close you could reach up and touch them. It makes the moon look as if it were right next door.
What a wonderful apparatus. May we see it?
I will show it to you, but I'm afraid the instrument itself is broken.
Uh-oh.
About 8 moons ago, I had it on my desk. A strong wind blew through my window, blowing papers to the floor and taking my light catcher with it. Part of it shattered, and it has not worked since. It still pains me to think about it.
No.
What part broke?
This small, round, clear part.
Interesting.
Cracked in half.
And you've been unable to repair it?
I'm afraid so.
That is most unfortunate. Such an instrument would help us greatly on our quest. There are a few other things we'd like to discuss.
Go on.
Well, let's see.
Since we cannot see very far into the wildlands, perhaps you would lend us the use of your map.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that is impossible. It is the only map I have of the wildlands. And with my light catcher now broken, I would never be able to make another one. It must not leave these walls.
But without it, we will lose much time trying to find our way into the wildlands.
I sympathize with you, but there is nothing that would persuade me to give up my possession of the map.
Or you could, I don't know, give us an hour, a sheet of paper, and a crayon, and we could copy it. You know, make a copy. I figured we don't have a Xerox machine here, but, you know, we could freehand it. No? You're gonna have us do a fetch quest, aren't you?
Would you trade the map for a repaired light catcher?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I know who can repair the piece from your light catcher. If you allow
You
us
do?
to use your map to go into the wildlands, I will see to it that your light catcher is repaired.
Well,
Do we
you
have
are
a bargain?
sly.
I will make you a counter proposal. While you are getting the piece from my light catcher repaired, I will make you a duplicate of my map. It will be ready by the time you return. Fair enough?
Fair enough. If you wrap the piece of the light catcher so it may be transported safely, we shall be on our way.
My friends, the broken piece is now in your care.
Well,
We'll be on our way.
Good luck to you.
What odd pieces of glass.
guess we've got another fetch quest to do. But that is for another time. Have a great evening, everybody.